Being alone can be a very scary and confusing experience. But what I'm aiming for in this video is to show you guys how you can really take advantage of being alone and use it to better yourself and better your life going forward. Loneliness is a completely normal part of the human experience. And to really understand loneliness, you have to understand the difference between loneliness and solitude. And a simple way to put it is loneliness is feeling disconnected from the world, while solitude is feeling empowered. A lot of the times people will find themselves slowly becoming depressed, sad, when they find themselves in a time in their life where they are alone. This is because when you find yourself at that point of life where you're simply just alone, the number one thing is that you focus on your mindset, which brings me into the first segment of this video, mindset. But before we go into the segments of this video, I want to start off by sharing my personal experience with being alone and how I used it to my advantage to go from looking like this to looking like this. Now, this all happened during COVID, which is why I think all of you have experienced loneliness in some form. So going into COVID, obviously, you can't see your friends, you're confined to your house, to your room, and a lot of people that I know actually fell into depression because when you're in that sort of environment and you don't really have that normal group that you're used to hanging around with, you can really find yourself go into this really deep, dark hole. But you really have to focus on making sure that you keep positive self-talk and you start seeing alone time as a gift rather than a punishment. Look at being alone as a time to really dig deep and understand yourself and how to positively move forward in your life. Being alone can really change your life, and it can be one of the greatest experiences that you have. So when I found myself alone during COVID, I started to really look at myself in the mirror and realize that I have these issues and I've been dealing with body dysmorphia for a long time. I just didn't like the way I looked. Now, I knew that it was possible that I could make that change. I just never really sat down and decided that this is the time. So I seen COVID as, if there's any better time to do this, it's now. So I instantly got into a routine, started working out every single morning, but more importantly, I made sure that I followed a strict diet. I started cooking on my own, I started working out on my own, I learned discipline, I learned life skills, and I took advantage of the loneliness. Yes, I went through bumps. It's bound to happen. You're gonna have the days where you definitely feel lonely. But that's when you have to keep the mindset and realize that when all this loneliness ends, how do you want to look coming out of the shell? I came out of COVID a brand new person, and I felt great and it felt wonderful. And I want you guys to be able to experience that too. So back to mindset. When it comes to mindset, you really have to dial deep and try and find goals that you've always wanted to complete and you know that you can. And once you have those goals figured out, write them down, put them somewhere where you'll see them every day. And I want you to dial in 100% on these goals. And the mindset that you should have is you should always be thinking, once this loneliness ends, how many of these goals will actually be completed? And if you can keep that mindset, and you'll keep that drive to keep wanting to do it and do it, you can fulfill your final goal. And when I was going through this loneliness, I thought to myself how bad I would feel about myself, how terribly I would look at myself if I came out of this loneliness the same person or even worse. Now, when you're goal setting, I want you guys to start small and just pick something that's achievable. Keep picking goals that are achievable. Over time, you'll complete these goals and it'll keep you motivated to keep going. Set small, achievable goals at first, but always make sure that you have your main goal. For me, my main goal was to lose 35 pounds and to gain 5 pounds of muscle at the end of the summer. Now, I'm not sure how much weight I really lost or how much muscle I really gained, but I know that it was a giant difference. And if you really find yourself not being able to build the courage to start when you're alone, a good way to build a positive view of yourself would to be just simply write down 3 things that you like about yourself and 3 things that you want to change. The 3 things that you like about yourself should hopefully boost you guys and boost your positivity, but make sure that you write down the 3 things that you like about yourself first, so you read those first. And once you start getting that positivity in your mind about yourself, you look at the things that you want to change. But I want you guys to remember that being alone is a chance to build mental strength, and it's a great opportunity to change yourself. So if you find yourself being alone, please take advantage. It'll be worth it. So for the next segment of this video, I want to go over good habits to get into when you find yourself alone. The first thing that I want to go through is journaling. Even though I wasn't big on journaling when I was alone, and I'm still not big on journaling, I've done journaling, I can see the benefits, and I know that it'll help a lot of you. So when you're journaling, the great thing about it is that there's no rules to what you have to write down or what you shouldn't write down. You literally write down your thoughts. You write down your wins, you write down your failures, you write down what you're thinking that day. Write down what you ate that day. Just write down everything and it'll just get out of your mind and it'll go on paper. And it'll help give you a better understanding of where you're at or how well things are going. Now for me, when my journaling sort of looks like a to-do list, and I make sure that I get everything done. So I'll pre-make a to-do list the day before, and then throughout the day I'll get the to-do list done. So every time that I check a box, it sort of gives me a positive message in my brain that I'm doing the right thing and I'm getting things done that day. And it pushes me to keep going and going until I get everything done. Practicing mindfulness is another great habit to get into. Now I used to meditate. I don't do it anymore, but meditation is a great way to really keep yourself in the present and to stop worrying about the future or stop worrying about your past. It really allows you to focus on you and to focus on the now. So you can just sit down on the ground, sit down wherever, close your eyes or keep your eyes open, it doesn't matter. But just try and keep your posture straight, try and keep yourself framed, and just breathe. Count your breaths, count up to 3, and then count down to 3. In and out, and just focus on the breaths. Don't focus on anything else, focus on the breaths. And it'll keep yourself in the present, and hopefully when you're done, you should feel a relief of calmness. And it'll help you to be able to think and move forward. Now a great thing to get into your routine is an exercise routine. I think everyone should have one. I think your physical health is insanely important because your physical health connects to your mental health. When you're physically active, you feel a lot better. You feel a lot more motivated to do more things during the day. So if you build a routine that sort of starts from when you wake up, then throughout the day, you'll feel more motivated to do the things you got to do. I like to do cardio at the start of the day. It gets your blood pumping, it gets you feeling good, it gets you breathing. And then later on in the day, I'll do my weight training. You guys can choose and pick however you want to do your schedule, but just make sure that you make one and you stay consistent. It doesn't matter how much you do, doesn't matter how many weights you lift, as long as you do it every day. Just remember that dreams become reality when thoughts become actions. Another great thing that you guys can start doing is picking up an old hobby or picking up a new hobby. Something that'll fill your creative side, simply give you a great life skill that'll help you on later on in life. For me, it was learning how to cook. I always used to cook. My dad's a chef. He owns his own restaurant, but I never really sat down and really tried to do my own things. When I found myself alone and I started realizing that I had a good workout routine going, but I just needed to get a better diet, I decided to do my research and I found that cooking really isn't that hard. Meal prepping is really important and it saves a lot of time, so that's what I started doing. I cooked my own meals every day. I felt good about myself. And I think cooking is a great skill to start with if you find yourself alone. But having a strict routine throughout your day is very important and it brings purpose to your life. For the final segment of this video, I want to go over why it's important to be alone. Being alone allows you to discover yourself in ways that you never thought was possible. Being alone will test you and it'll build you. It'll allow you to truly find your real passions in life without any external distractions. It'll allow you to recharge and focus on your priorities. But I think one of the most important things about being alone is that it builds independence. It builds discipline. If done correctly, you can start yourself on a great routine and set yourself up for success. Solitude can really help build a creative mind and allow you to explore your creative side, which really connects to everything that you do in life. Learning how to enjoy being alone is a very powerful step in moving forwards towards your goals. Now I do plan on making a separate video and diving in deep on how I went through my body transformation. I'm just waiting to gain a bigger audience because this is a very personal video of mine that I prefer a lot more people to be able to see. So once I start gaining more traction to my account, I will be showing you guys in depth how I went through that transformation through my diet, my exercise, and my mindset. But I'm going to end this video here. I want you guys to really think about everything I said and then try and implement these things in your life when you find yourself alone. Don't be afraid to reach out. I'm always available. Thank you guys for watching.